Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. On Halloween I live streamed my first real attempt at Day of Dragons PvP and I thought I'd share my experience. I chose Shadowscale for this attempt as its cloaking ability would allow me to hide from enemies, however I would still need to be careful around Flamestalkers as their thermal vision could still spot me even when cloaked. Once my egg spawned, I checked my surroundings to see where I was and also to check for dragons after a quick and easy meal. Fortunately, I spawned at night, giving me the cover of darkness that will help keep me hidden. I knew I was near the river, so I hatched out and immediately began the search for a nearby puddle that would serve as my little home area, meaning the only thing I would need to find is food. Within minutes of arriving at the puddle, I was surprised by another Shadowscale decloaking in front of me. Fortunately, I was invisible, but I wasn't sure if they saw me. They ate a mushroom and went to sleep, so I took this opportunity to get some food. I went in for the attack and the battle began. After exchanging many bites, I sadly lost this battle as the other dragon was slightly bigger than me. Time to try again.
Damn it! They were bigger.
Like before, I chose the Shadowscale, checked my surroundings and hatched out, but this time I was going to be more cautious around other hatchlings and I made my way to a puddle. This time I was immediately met with a sleeping hatchling Shadowscale. Instead of hit and run, I began biting from one spot to get the most hits in. Sadly, they logged out before I could kill them. I spent a lot of time alone and started to get hungry. I went looking for a spiked crab for food. After exchanging a few blows with one, I managed to take it out and had my first meal. I stayed with the crab until I got thirsty and headed back to the puddle. That's when a much larger Shadowscale hatchling showed up. I wasn't even going to attempt to fight it and waited for it to leave. A short time later, someone in the local chat was asking if there was anyone in the area to kill them. It was this Shadowscale. I of course obliged for a free meal this size, but as I was biting at them, not one but two Flamestalker hatchlings showed up. I continued biting and prepared for a fight. They didn't attack while we all fed on the Shadowscale. Once I had my fill, I backed away and hid behind the rock out of sight of their thermal vision. They soon wandered off and I went searching for more food, where I found another hatchling killed by a crab. I fed on this and decided to leave the crab as I was getting thirsty. I found myself at a different puddle where the two Flamestalker hatchlings were. I approached cautiously. They must have used their thermal vision as one began to approach me and tried to attack, but I ran out of the way just in time. During the chase, I ran out of stamina from running while cloaked, and when they started biting the other baby, I recovered my stamina and went on the offensive. I chased them away into the shrubs and returned to the other one who wanted to be killed. I finally had the drink I desperately needed and fed on them. After that, not much happened for a while until a baby acid spitter tried to attack me. They ran off and brought their friend to me who, surprise surprise, wanted to be killed. I didn't want to get too close this time as acid spitters are quick and it could have been a trap. Sure enough, the Flamestalker died of hunger and the acid spitter ran away into the shrubs. A while later, I was just feeding on the Flamestalker and a tiny Shadowscale showed up. I left it alone as I was much larger at this point and it would have been an unfair fight. A full-grown Shadowscale showed up right as I was about to grow to juvenile, but luck was on my side as I was fully invisible and it didn't know I was there. It wandered off and I finally had the ability to fly. Unfortunately, I needed a slope to take off as fresh juveniles can't take off from flat ground. I found a suitable location and took my first flight. I knew I needed somewhere safe to land as there was no guarantee I would be able to take off again at this size. My chat informed me that on this PvP server no one visits the southernmost point of the map, so I made my way there and hoped I would be alone. Sure enough, I was, and I stayed here until I became an adult. I knew I couldn't stay here forever to keep my stream entertaining, so I took a risk and messaged the server chat asking if there were any clans looking for members. I got lucky and was invited to one. One of the Thunder Chiefs taught me the ways of PvP and corrected some behaviour I had gained from the peace of the PvE servers. They were much better hunters than I am, even taking out a full-grown Shadowscale alone. I got into an aerial battle with another Shadowscale. They made sure to stay out of range of the acid spitter, but after 5 minutes they gave up and flew away. We made our way back to the arch in search of food. The acid spitter told me that they had spotted a Shadowscale, so we moved in. This turned out to be an ambush. We ended up in a battle with an acid spitter and 3 shadow scales. I was told to run but stayed in the area to help if needed. Sadly, they eventually got my clan member. With no other clan members online that were available to help me, I was alone in an area where I was likely still being hunted. So I made the decision to cloak and make my way to the redwood to hide behind a tree as a safe place to log out. And that was my first ever experience with PvP. From hatchling to adult, it's never easy, and I was constantly looking over my shoulder for threats. Next time I might try with either the Flame Stalker or Acid Spitter. If you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button and leave a like. Also, let me know down in the comments what you would have done differently. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.